Hi guys, it's Loretta with Sparrowhawker Designs. Welcome back to my channel. So I've been asked to do a craft room tour and how I organize stuff. So I'm not very good at organizing actually, so I'm just gonna show you my room. So this is my upstairs sewing room. Those are vintage sewing baskets at the bottom. This is a ladder of quilts when you first come in the door, and then the boho bag that I made, and the snippet roll that I made. Up here are two paintings from my son's girlfriend, my mom's cake plate, and a pincushion from a subscriber. Really hoping not to make y'all sick. So I have a corner bedroom, and it's about 10 by 10. It's not huge at all. So here I've got obviously more quilts, more sewing baskets. This bookcase is so that's my Japanese taupe fabrics, some of them. Just some trims and ribbon, some magazines, wall hanging of my grandmother. And then down here, these are just my mixed media books, patterns. I have a plastic bin full of needles and my colored pencils. Yeah, because some of that is, I have some coloring books on that shelf too. Down here's all my thread. Well, not all of it, but most of it. So that's sewing thread, embroidery thread, the anchor embroidery thread, my silk ribbon, and pearl cotton. And then on the very bottom in the bin you can't see is all of my fancy threads and like my wool thread and that kind of stuff. Over here is that black metal container. There is all stuff that's been given to me, like in the swaps and stuff, and from other people. And then up here I just have this teapot belonged to my great Aunt Minnie. Here's a fabric book I made and a fabric book that Roseanne made. And then this container is full of doilies, but it's all like the little doilies, so not the big doilies. This is buttons, and there's some spools. And then over here, this is where I keep my eyelash trim. That doll my grandmother made me when I was like 2. And this is my dog Mulligan. My printer. And then this dresser contains, the bottom drawer contains all of my like upholstery trims and stuff for like the journals. The top drawer is like little plastic baggies and beading mats and that kind of thing. And then the middle drawer is vintage trims, doilies, linens, etc. Most of the stuff in here I bought. Not all of it. And then over here I have a basket of fun goodies. There's fabrics in here and trim, and then this is where I keep like the appliques. Then over here I have that's the finished wall hanging from the slow stitch swap I did last year. So in here is just vintage trims. In here is stuff that I have set aside for slow stitch projects. Finished beading projects, string. This is all tatting. This is all flowers and bows, and that is holding the Twinchies from my challenge last year. And so up here I just have these sort of like the slow stitch projects I'm working on. Like this is Roxy's, and then this is my bird song. This is a quilt top I finished for my grandson. And then in this desk I have, I decoupaged this. It comes down like that. And so this is kind of just that stuff you don't know what to do with. And so like this is my cabochons are in here. There's some bead stuff. This is fabric that I had set aside for birdsong. So when I'm done with birdsong, that will all go back to wherever it was I got it from. And then this top drawer is my wool fabrics. That is all of my wool. I don't have a whole lot. Middle drawer is more embroidery thread and these little things. You can find these at pretty much any craft store, and they sell those little cardboard things. But you know, you don't have to buy this stuff. You can just cut up cereal boxes into little squares and wrap up your embroidery thread if you want. That bag is my sequins. And then the bottom drawer is buttons. So I have put my buttons in these little bead containers, most of them. This is like mother of pearl. These are metal. So I kind of separate them like that. Like those are separated by color. And then I have a bin that's just old buttons. More buttons. And finished yo-yos. And then up here, so on my desk I have, I just have a bin of supplies. So everything from scissors to glue, my external hard drive, there's some snaps, fabric pencils, you name it. I got all these little bowls with little things in them. I got other bowls with snippets. And then I have this basket that I put fabric in for slow stitch kits, or not slow stitch kits, for my slow stitch projects. So like when I'm sitting here sewing, I just reach over and grab something out of here if I just need something extra that I haven't already pulled. Some trims. This is all stamped fabric. And yeah, I think that's it. My pin cushions, my pencil sharpener, my needle book. This is the embroidery thread that my daughter got me for Mother's Day. It's Valdani, and I haven't put it away yet, so that's why it's sitting on my desk. And yes, I made the curtain thing. Can't really tell it because the light's behind it, but it's all like pinks and beiges and stuff like that. And then over here is my computer. I usually have the keyboard on my desk instead of over here. This set of drawers is, top two are the fabric and stuff for my kits. The middle one has my cheesecloth in it. And then the bottom two are just scraps. So, and they're organized by color. And then, okay, then welcome to the closet. Let me back up so you can get a good visual of this closet. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just had my husband take the doors off, as it just works so much better. Up here I have all these bins, so that's my Christmas stuff, and some ribbon, and then all these bins are projects that I'm either in the middle of or that I'm going to do eventually. Like that is a quilt that's been cut out. I just need to sew it together. These are, so some of this is like for my business. Like those are my mailers. That's all like paperwork and stuff, you know. And then this is all vintage linens. These are my vintage gloves and some laces. It's my Sari silk ribbon. This is all my cutter quilt pieces. And then just more vintage linens. And this is a Christmas quilt I'm almost finished making. I've been working on it for a while. Over here, these bins have, okay, so this is another project I'm getting ready to work on. These two are for my kits that I make. This is the spring garden crazy quilt. This whole thing is embroidery thread. That's the crazy quilt that I'm working on. This is just pink and brown and beige trims and stuff left over from the other crazy quilt I was working on. This is, I don't know what this is. Oh, that's one of the quilts I'm in the middle of piecing. This is my spinning cutter and my whiteboard. And then this is my slow stitch wall hanging thing that I hung there just to cover up the mess. Okay, down here, this vintage basket has vintage yo-yos and all of my seam binding. No, not seam binding. Selvage, all my selvages. That bin and that bin is both stuff for my slow stitching. And then this is for kits. These top two drawers in here are for kits, and the bottom two drawers are more of my Japanese fabrics that I am going to do something with eventually, someday. So, I think that's everything in here. So now, I'm going to show you my beads, because they're in a different room. I could probably fit them in this room, but I like the fact that that I can actually move around in here. And I know if I brought the beads in here, I would lose a ton of space. So I'm happy with it the way it is. I keep my beads in the grandkids' guest room. So let's go there now. All right, so when the grandkids come over to stay all night, this is the room they stay in. This is my son's old room. It's a teeny tiny room. And I have this dresser right here, and it's piled about 3.5 feet high with beads. My bead books are back there. So my seed beads, some of my delicas. These are some cabs that I made back when I used to do polymer clay. And then this top drawer is also beads. The second drawer is diapers. So anyway, yeah, so that's that. And I just wanted to show you very quickly this this painting right here. My mom did that painting of me when I was about 2. And yeah, so that's all. I just wanted to show you that. So anyway, all right, now I'm going to take you to the basement so you can see where all the chaos happens. Okay, guys, I cannot believe that I am actually showing you this room. So this room is down in the basement, and I did not clean it up at all. I didn't clean a single thing, so that you can see what my space looks like when I'm working. And even though I don't do stitching down here, this is what my space upstairs starts to look like when I'm working on something. Only instead of paper, it's fabric and stuff everywhere. So this is the journal I'm working on right now. And I have like markers in there. This is trims. This is an old kitchen drawer. So I got trims in there. And then this bookshelf here, I've got my Sizzix machine. I've got some washi tape in one of those containers, some Tim Holtz stuff, my spray inks, acrylic paints, vintage ephemera. That's all vintage ephemera. And then that's like book stuff. So, and then right next to my table is another little table that I usually, like, whatever whatever papers I have picked out for the journal, this is where I keep them so that they're separated from everything else. So right here is, this tower is all my digital kits that I have printed out. So these top 3 drawers are nothing but Medieval Mirage. And then I think the 4th and 5th drawer are My Porch Prints. And then everything else is just miscellaneous. And guess what? I just discovered I have an empty drawer, which means I get to fill it up. And then up here, this is all printed out from Graphics Fairy. This is all Graphics Fairy. And then this is just scraps of paper. Then this paper, this is also scraps of paper, but I have some other stuff laying in the top. Down here is a bin of fabric and trims that I use in my junk journals. Back there is cardboard. More cardboard. Stencils, Tim Holtz, tea bags, dryer sheets, used dryer sheets. And then up here, paper flowers, paper doilies, envelopes. I don't know what this stuff is. This is just miscellaneous stuff. And these are my, when I make copies of my vintage photos, this is the copies so that I can just pull from here for my projects. And then guest checks and index cards and stuff like that are in there. And mailers and more scrap cardboard, a bag of bags, a bag of envelopes. Oh yeah, and this is my mixed media stuff. Like, just, yeah. Okay, over here I've got some more stencils. This pile right here is, okay, well, maybe not all of it. Let's see. Let me move this. That pile is the stuff I make my snippets out of. So that's what that's doing there. This is all my metal stuff. This tower here is all Christmas paper, Christmas ephemera, Christmas tags. Over here I have some vintage dresses hanging up. This one was my mom's. These three were mine when I was a baby, and that one was my great-grandma's coat. Paintbrushes. This is mostly art supplies here. This is all gel crayons, gouache, acrylic, and watercolor. Down here are all my, not all of them, but some of my stamps, and then my punches. Over here, more stamps, more acrylic, envelopes. This whole bag is paper napkins. And then this this bookcase, on the bottom are all book covers that don't have pages, and then that's all my scrapbook paper. My inks, my ink pads and stuff, and then up here I have vintage postage stamps, trims, embossing powders, etc. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I actually showed you guys this room, and I cannot believe that that you guys will still want to be my friend afterwards. Oh, and then over there, behind that door, is all of my quilting fabric. So I have tubs of quilting fabric in there, and my cutting table and all of that type of thing. So the stuff that you see there, that's some of my books, my vintage books that I pull from. That's kind of books that I actually read and that kind of thing. So, and off to the left is my son's room, and I keep trying not to show it to you because I don't know if he'll want me to, but that's all of his action figures right there and his Jurassic Park sign. I will try and I won't show you the rest of it, but anyway. So yeah, so there you go, guys. That's how I organize. This is where I work. And I really hope I did not make you dizzy or sick with this video. And yeah, so please like and subscribe if you want to see what I actually do with all this junk. So, all right, guys, take it easy. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.